It's Peaches here, and this is Peaches Pit Party, the podcast. A lot of puh sounds with that title. A replay of today's full show, which you can hear weekday afternoons live on K-Barrel 101. I hope you like what I have to say, and if not, well, then I'm sorry, not sorry. Enjoy. Alrighty, let's do this. It is Friday, October 11th, 2024. I've been handling a whole bunch of promotion stuff this entire morning. Today has been flying by, which I'm glad because it is Friday. I'm trying to get to the weekend as fast as possible. And after this show, I'll be joining the rest of the DJs here in the building to go up to Teton to go for our haunted meetup, our second haunted meetup of the year at the Haunted Mill. If you signed up with us, make sure to meet us there at 7:30. And if you want to just meet us there, you want to buy tickets and hang out with us, go for it. Do so. We'd love to see you there. The Haunted Mill is fantastic. 5 floors of just pure and utter terror. I'm hoping Victor's up for it and he wants to go through it tonight, because I'll gladly do so. I'll be leaving the studio a little early. Through the magic of radio, the show, of course, will still go till 7, but I'll be leaving the studio a little early so I can get proper clothing, because I'm assuming it's going to be like colder once we get up there, once the sun goes down and all that. It's been nice so far. It's been a really nice October. We finally get a fall. I've seen people share those stupid memes on Facebook of I remember when October used to be cold. Embrace this. There are so many people that say, I'd rather be in 100 degrees than 32 degrees. Go outside and enjoy this, because I did see in the forecast in a few weeks, the high is going to be like 43, and we're only going to get lower from there, all right? So make the most of this fun fall that we're having here. I might even go to the pumpkin patch this weekend. Be the guy by myself at the pumpkin patch just because I feel like it. Anyway, like I said, 208-535-1015 is the number to reach me. Coming up here soon enough, the first song of the hour as part of our K-Barrel Rockin' Halloween, Haunted by No Limit Guitar Company, a Halloweenish track from Agents of Oblivion, coming up here soon enough on K-Barrel 101. I didn't mean for this to be a giant argument within our K-Barrel 101 Idaho Rock and Metal Facebook group, but apparently it was. Yesterday, to give you some context, last night I decided to have salmon with potatoes and veggies for dinner. And it was these diced up potatoes with peas, carrots, and corn mixed in there. I thought it was a great dinner. I sent a picture of it to a particular person, and this person said, "Oh my God, you heathen! Why are you covering your veggies and potatoes with ketchup?" And then proceeded to spam the puking emoji, which I replied saying there's nothing wrong with putting ketchup on your veggies, or potatoes for that matter. Don't really care. It's a nice condiment. And then this person proceeded to say, if you put ketchup on your hot dog, that's also weird. And it had me thinking, like, well, not necessarily. Ketchup and mustard on a hot dog together, perfectly fine. That's the way it's supposed to be. If you're one of those mustard elitists with hot dogs, don't be one of those people, okay? I came from Chicago, where the hot dog only has mustard and only needs mustard. They're part of the loud crowd. They're one of the many loud crowds out there, like the Dr. Pepper cult followers. They're louder than the Dr. Pepper cult followers. I would say they're just as loud as the Hydro homies online. Those people that only drink water and they want everybody to know about it. So then on the K-Bar group, I asked everybody in the Rock Army, hey, do you put ketchup on your hot dog? I was shocked to see that many people say no. The one person who I know who absolutely hates ketchup is Josh from Classy 97. Victor, on the other hand, loves ketchup. I've seen him put ketchup on breakfast burritos before. I've seen him, like I said before, I think I've seen him put ketchup on sushi before. I swear I've seen him do that. All right, I'm not making that up. There was one time I was asking him a question in his office. I walk up to his office and I see the ketchup right there, and he takes a fork, stabs the sushi, puts it in the ketchup, and then eats it. If you haven't voted yet on the stupid little poll that I have in the K-Barrel 101 Idaho Rock and Metal Facebook group, do you put ketchup on your hot dog? You can put yes or no. I had to remove a couple comments because one person went off on somebody. There was a comment there that said, like, if you're over the age of 5, you shouldn't be eating ketchup. And some dude was like, I can eat whatever I want to, screw you. Well, the explicit version of that. And yeah, it got pretty violent. Be nice in there. There's no swearing. And one of the other rules is be kind and courteous. Irvine Police Department in California. I'm not shocked by this after seeing the city that started doing this, because if you ever go to Irvine, California, it is pretty much like the home of Tesla. I don't think Tesla has ever been close to Irvine, California, like the headquarters or anything like that. Everybody in Irvine owns a Tesla. My sister went to UC Irvine. She has seen more Teslas than almost people out there. But the Irvine Police Department has a new addition that's turning a lot of heads. They decided, you know what? Let's go ahead and add the Tesla Cybertruck to our fleet. It's, the mammoth electric vehicle. It will not be patrolling the streets or fighting any crime. It is part of the IPD's Drug Abuse Resistance Education, the DARE program, and community outreach efforts. The vehicle, which is fully equipped with police gear, is valued at around, $150,000. It has drawn some criticism, by a lot of different people. A lot of people just overly loud. Talking about loud crowds, like I just mentioned in the last break, the people who hate on the Cybertruck, man, they really want you to know they hate that Cybertruck. But the Irvine Police Department believes its eye-catching presence will help engage the community, especially kids. I don't think you have to worry about drug problems in Irvine, California. Irvine, California is one of the safest, nicest cities there is in Southern California. If you were to go to East Long Beach with this truck, it might get tagged, it might get shot at. There might be drug deals next to one of those things, next to one of those cars. I would say send those there. And now this right here is your Shot Clock Sports Update. The Colorado Avalanche, they lost their season opener to the Vegas Golden Knights Wednesday night, but one of its rookies made a little bit of NHL history. Forward Ivan, that's his name, Ivan, played his first NHL game and became the first player in league history with the same first and last name. What creative parents that guy had, huh? He's from the Czech Republic. He has his father's sense of humor to thank for his unusual name. He explained in an interview earlier this year, "My dad's name is Marek and his last name is Ivan. And since Marek and Ivan are both first names, people were always wondering whether his name was Marek or Ivan. So he made it easier for me. I like it, and it's special because there are not many people with my name." Yeah, no kidding. Ivan squared out there on the ice. Rafael Nadal has announced he'll be retiring after the Davis Cup final in Spain next month. He's 38 years old. He said the reality is that it has been difficult. It has been some difficult years, these last two especially. I don't think I have been able to play without limitations. Nadal has the second most Grand Slam titles of all time, 22, just behind that 24 that his frequent on-court opponent Novak Djokovic has won. Nadal won his last Grand Slam title at the 2022 French Open, basically playing on one foot after numbing his left foot with injections in order to compete. Yeah, safe to say, Rafael Nadal, one of the best tennis players of all time. The power of Grimace to help the New York Mets in their run to the NLCS is undeniable. Check out these crazy stats here. Since the purple McDonald's mascot threw out the first pitch on June 12th, the Mets have posted a 66-38 record, the best in baseball. They're 8-1 at home since the Grimace seat was installed at Citi Field, 4-0 with Grimace in attendance, and 2-0 since Grimace got his own train on the New York City subway. Isn't that crazy? The power of the Grimace. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. I saw this story yesterday. I meant to talk about it on yesterday's show, but this video footage taken in Brazil shows a monkey drinking beer it found in a garbage can. It shows the primate just tilting its head back to guzzle every last drop. I think a friend even comes along, like another monkey comes around and joins in on the fun. The person taking the video can be heard laughing, but the Municipal Department of the Environment says this is no laughing matter. Consuming human food could be dangerous for wildlife and cause animals to become used to being fed by humans. Sometimes this can result in monkeys acting more aggressively. A drunk monkey on the loose would be awful. Awful thing to deal with. Especially when it's like a bigger monkey. This one was a tiny little guy, but still, monkeys are very strong. You ever gone to a zoo that has a silverback gorilla? You see how big those things are? It's ridiculous. Victor and I talked about this question on the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, powered by Jalisco's. And I figured, why not bring it back up? I might bring it back to Peach Theron later this afternoon. What small thing annoys you to an irrational degree? I mean, I could go off my whole list here. The first one, I would say, people who don't listen. People have not listened at all when it comes to, a lot of things as of late. I think it's the post-2020, I'm going to do my own thing attitude that people are just now following. And it kind of sucks because you tell somebody something, and then they ask you that question that you just gave the answer to, and it's so stupid. But I was scrolling the answers here. This one doesn't necessarily bother me all that much. Unless it's like a public beach and somebody brings a giant speaker and blasts the worst music imaginable. Someone wrote, when people don't use headphones in public. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, I feel like it's the same type of thing. If it would bother me more if the person's talking loudly on the phone with somebody, you can't hear the other person, but the person who's on the phone is just screaming for no reason. That one, not really that great. People trying to enter the elevator, subway, or bus before letting people exit. That's another thing for me is when I go into a Walmart, Winco, people that walk out the entrance door, because it clearly says entrance and exit right there above the doors. And there have been plenty of times as of late where I've gone through the entrance door and somebody's walking out of it and then glares at me like I'm doing something wrong. Maybe next time I should just, shove them out of the way. Be like, watch where you're going next time. Look at the sign. Exit. No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that. But yeah, I might have to bring this question back for it to Peach their own. What small thing annoys you to an irrational degree? And I love when boomer rock stars make these crazy claims online. You have a handful of artists out there who have debated whether or not rock is dead. Old dudes like Gene Simmons, Alice Cooper, and now Joe Perry says, hey, the age of the guitar hero has come and gone. He says, I think there's a lot that's still going to happen, but I kind of doubt that there's going to be another Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Eddie Van Halen. That was a time and an era. Those were standout guys who turned the world upside down and changed the way people heard guitar in our little world, but it's not going to be like that anymore. I disagree. I think there's a lot of very talented bands out there. I think the glorification of the crazy guitar solo has come and gone. You don't really hear guitar solos in rock or metal songs all that much anymore, but you do have other parts of the band sticking out. And I have to say, like, again, just another boomer rock star trying to say, well, we're never going to see anybody like this ever again. There's some talented guitarists out there. I'm sure if Eddie Van Halen was still around and he got to see Tim Henson of Polyphia, I mean, that's just one example there. Tim Henson's one of the craziest guitarists. Even the two people in Buried Alive. There's so many different bands that could definitely impress, or definitely, I would say, outdo most of these older bands with their guitar skills. I've seen this picture pop up on my Facebook feed. This oil painter, Noah Verrier, he depicts fast food scenes, including Taco Bell's Baja Blast, Popeye's two pieces, Wendy's meals dipped in a Frosty. After his painting of a Smucker's Uncrustable went viral on Twitter, he sold the piece on eBay for about $5,000. His artworks depict modern foods in a classic painting style. I like it. I really wanted to get that Taco Bell's Baja Blast one. But apparently, you don't have to spend the $5,000 on the original piece. No, you can actually buy a reprint, just a print of the painting in general, for under $60. Too bad I don't have enough wall space in my place to hang up. Well, I think I might in my kitchen. Once I get a little bit of extra money, I might need to splurge and get the Taco Bell Baja Blast painting and put that in a nice frame right there in my dining room. As part of our K-Bear Rockin' Halloween, Zombie Girl the Darkness, haunted by No Limit Guitar Company. Shout out to those guys over at No Limit Guitar Company for helping us out with their Halloweenish tracks, as well as our sweet giveaways that we have been doing with No Limit, such as the Yamaha guitar that we gave away earlier today to loyal listener Levi. And now we're giving away this sweet Schecter Avenger guitar. You can sign up for that guitar on the K-Bear 101 and Alt 101 apps, and you can also go ahead and buy something at either No Limit Guitar Company location in order to score a bonus entry to win that Schecter Avenger guitar. I was reading here, speaking of Halloween, Cash for Candy, this movement, this Cash for Candy program operated by Healthy Wage. It's a health and wellness portal that offers cash incentives for weight management. Consumers can fill out a donation form. Basically, what's going on here is that, hey, if your kid has excess candy that you know they're not going to eat and it's going to go to waste, you can actually turn in that candy, ship that candy to soldiers. It'll be distributed. So you send it to a facility. The candy will then be distributed to service members, veterans, and families, both domestic and abroad. Healthy Wage estimates that the cash compensation for candy will be sent 4 to 6 weeks later via check or PayPal. Participation, though, comes with a big caveat that the shipper is responsible for mailing costs. So if you donate a small amount, you may find it's not worth it given the price of UPS or USPS. Only unopened and unexpired candy is acceptable. So anything you've bitten into is best left at home, okay? No biting into a Reese's and saying, okay, a soldier can have this. The candy must be sent by November 15th. It reminds me of what I've talked about in the past with my dad saying, hey, you can donate the excess candy for money to the big pumpkin. And back then when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I don't really need that money. And now I'm over here like, I do need that money big time. Well, just like that Ice Nine Kills song, this is a grave mistake. A family in New York suing a funeral home after the body of their 96-year-old grandma, from what it seems like. It just says 96-year-old woman. The body of their 96-year-old woman, what terrible writing this article has, was mistakenly sent to the wrong country for burial. Yeah, the family of Carmen Maldonado had arranged to have her buried in her native Ecuador next to her husband and assumed that's where the Queen's funeral home had sent her casket. But a relative happened to see a video posted on TikTok showing a family in Guatemala shocked to find a woman's body inside the casket at the funeral of a 38-year-old man. They were way off, who was also prepared by the same funeral home. It turns out the bodies were mixed up, sent to the wrong countries. Both families are devastated. Maldonado's youngest son had to fly to Guatemala to straighten everything out and make new arrangements. I'm just imagining the son flying to Guatemala, literally picking up the body and taking it with him, saying, hey, sorry, this belongs to my family. The average American estimates that they lose 36 days a year to content consumption. Yeah, a survey of 2,000 adults found Gen Zers estimate that they lose 5 days a month to just scrolling, streaming, binge watching. Those who say they have good or excellent mental health lose the least amount of days to content consumption. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people, like right as I wake up at 7 a.m. by my alarm and I need to get up and get ready for work and such, I go to my phone and see, okay, who sent me reels? I need to watch these reels. I need to send some reels back to my friends. It's a weird trade thing that we're doing. Like I get sent reels throughout the night, like Instagram reels throughout the night from my friends, and then I send a couple back in the morning. Then I go to Discord and I send some messages out. I definitely need to just wake up and get up. I'd be much better off without social media. But I also do need social media big time because of this job. Thanks, Victor. I don't get why some people need to be naked in public places. I really don't. Like if you go to the gym and you go inside the dressing room, the bathroom, whatever it's called, the locker room, there's always some old guy in there just walking nude. I wish I had that amount of confidence, to be quite honest with you. This elderly man over in Hong Kong, he's been arrested on suspicion of indecent exposure. You want to know why? Well, he was just exercising nude in a public park. Why? Why did he feel the need to be naked? He would jog around a soccer pitch wearing small shorts. He would roll down the waistband while hiking up the sides, exposing part of his butt. He allegedly would then move to the relatively more secluded public park across the street and take his shorts off completely. He was seen doing this several times. A resident complained to the media. Yeah, I would too, but get this naked guy out of here. For some reason, it says here he was featured in a segment by a popular TV program whose host tried to interview him in the park, but when approached, he was who was wearing shorts at the time, covered his head with a T-shirt and just ran off. Some people, man, they just want to be naked for no reason. Don't do it. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoy the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.